All right. Feet together. Go ahead and start rolling your shoulders. Good. Just find your posture here. Take a breath. Reach for the ceiling. Find a yawn. And exhale. Good. Do it again. Inhale. If you can't find a yawn, just find a big exhale. Let it out like a sigh. And one more time. Inhale up. Exhale down. And inhale up. Exhale. Just go ahead and soft fold down into your legs. Good. Step back with your right foot. And come up to your high lunge here. Good. Just feel that front hip beginning to open. Pull the core in. Good. Now put your hands on the floor. Good. And we're just going to take that left leg up to three-leg dog. Just gently pushing down with the right heel. And then take a step forward with your left leg. Turn your right leg and come up to warrior two. So we're back with the right leg in the back, just like we started. Good. Take a deep breath. Just go over to triangle for the first time. Good. It's okay if you can't reach all the way down. Just start feeling that breath. And then turn your body into a lunge and revolve your lunge. Good. Both hands to the floor. Step back to downward dog. Good. Find your plank. And chaturanga at dog. Good. Let's sit back into our first child's pose. Good. Come back to tabletop. Good. And cat cow. Getting that spine warm. Find your breath here in your movement. Good. Tuck your feet and lift to downward dog. Now let's walk to the top of our mat. Now inhale, standing extension. And then exhale with the legs straight, hinge over, fold, crown of the head toward the floor. Bend your knees and unhinge. Good job. Just bring your hands into heart center. Good. Let's take those deep breaths again. Inhale up. Big exhale. Okay, we're going to go one more time. Soft fold down onto your legs. And hands to the floor. Step back with your left leg to high lunge. Good. Tuck that hip underneath your shoulders. And we'll bring the hands to the floor. Take that right leg all the way back and up into three-leg dog. Gently push down the left heel. And we'll step forward with the right leg and come up to warrior two. Use your breath, let blood move into the legs. Good, and straighten. Reach out and over to your first triangle. Doesn't have to be deep. Good, and then as your left hand goes to the floor, turn to a lunge and revolve your lunge. Just step back to downward dog. And find your plank. Chaturanga to up dog. And then sit back, child's pose. Make your way up to tabletop. And take that spine down into cow. And up into cat. Tuck your feet. Lift to downward dog. Take your walk to the top of your mat. Inhale, standing extension. Exhale and fold. Bend your knees, lift your gaze, and unhinge. Good, take a breath and come into prayer. Good, now we're gonna sit down into chair. Pull the core in, If you want support, you can always put your hands on your legs. If your feet are apart, make sure that your knees are also apart. So it's easy to do this where my feet are apart and my knees are together. You want them in line. So if your knees naturally fall inward, make sure you pull them to the outside. You can also put all of it together. Good. From here, inhale, take your right leg up and across, and we're going to sink into single leg chair. You can take the arms up if you want to. Just feeling that hip. Inhale as you set your foot back down. And exhale back into chair. Now we're going to inhale, take your right elbow to your left leg. Good. Now, if you can't go that far, you can still just come here. So I'm just putting my right hand on my leg and my left hand on my hip. So we're in revolved chair. So there or all the way down. Make sure that you're not kicking one leg away like this. Keep them together. Look down at your feet. Good. When you're ready, set your balance into your left leg, step back with your right leg, then look back as your hip drops into your left elbow. So we're in revolve lunge with prayer hands. Put your right hand on the floor. Good. Now you're going to take your left leg, step back, and open up into side plank. Option is to lower that bottom leg, and then we're here in our side plank. Be strong all the way down to the fingertips of the right arm and turn to your plank. Chaturanga. Up dog. Good. Tuck your feet. Lift to downward dog. Now lift your left leg into three-leg dog. And step forward with your left leg. Turn the right. And we'll come back up to our warrior two. Good. Now we're going to set our elbow on our left leg. Push your right hip down. Good. Now reach out, touch your cheek to your bicep. So your palm on the right should be pointing to or looking at the top of your mat. Good. Now take a breath. Turn your ribs so that you can look up at the ceiling. Now do what works for you. Now take that right hand, bring it around, turn your palm out. So now it's on your tailbone or on the opposite hip behind you. Unhinge, keep your knee bent, and come up with the left arm. Good, we're just gonna cartwheel to the floor here. Turn your back foot up, step in, inhale, standing extension. Exhale and fold. Bend your knees. Lift your gaze. Unhinge. Good job. Inhale up. Exhale, push the room away. And again, inhale. Hands come into the heart. Get ready to set your chair. Sit down into your chair. Again, think about that alignment. Good. And as you come up, take a breath. We're going to lift the left leg and sit into our single leg chair. Remember, you can always modify by just setting the foot on the floor. Big breath. Come up. Exhale back into chair. Take another breath. And now we revolve our chair. So left hand to the leg, right hand to the hip. Knees are still together. Or take it lower with your left elbow to your right knee. Gaze up at that left elbow or right elbow. Pull your shoulders out of your ears. And now look down at your left foot. When you're ready, step back with your left leg. Sink into the hips, and then we'll look up at that left hand if you can. Good. Turn the foot in the back, and you'll spiral up to your warrior two. Now we'll take our right arm, put it on the right leg. Now I don't want to leave this hip up. So if you need to adjust, you can. Push your hip down, and we're going to look out with our palm at the top of our mat. Then find your breath and open your heart toward the ceiling. Find that long line between your left hand and your left foot. We'll take our left hand now behind us, palm out, roll your shoulder open. Keep your leg bent as you come up with your right hand. Inhale and cartwheel to the floor. Step back to downward dog. Come forward into plank. Chaturanga to up dog. And sit back, child's pose. Good. Tuck your toes. Come back up to downward dog. Good. Step forward with your right and then your left. Inhale, standing extension. Exhale and fold. Bend your knees, unhinge. Good job. We'll find a shoulder roll at the top. And inhale. Come to prayer. Good. Now we're going to take your right leg, lift it, cross your inner thighs, and try to wrap that leg. It doesn't have to wrap. Sink into your left leg. You can also just set it across. My toe is on the floor. I want you to squeeze your inner thighs. That's really what we need to do. Good. Since the right leg is on top, we'll take the right hand on top. And you can do a full shoulder wrap. You can also just give yourself a hug. Whatever you need. You can even just leave the hands in prayer. I personally like the hug and just sink. Stay low. Open the arms. Now push your heel to the back. So you'll be in warrior 3 with airplane arms. Ah. Set your foot halfway back. Inhale up. Exhale, hinge over your front leg. Split your fold. Pull into your hips. Step back with your right foot. Turn your right foot. We're going to do warrior 2 again. Good. Now straighten your leg. Inhale, both arms. Turn toward that front leg. Now reach beyond your front leg for the floor. If you can't reach the floor, look, you can stop up here. You can stop here. Just stay off of your knee. Roll your shoulders out of your ears. Good. Now leave your left hand on the floor and slowly peel up into triangle. Good. Turn back toward the top of your mat. Step back to downward dog. Good. Come forward into plank. Now we have not done our side plank on the other side. So leave your left hand down and open up. Remember to modify, just set your foot down. Good. Turn back to plank. And chaturanga to up dog. Find your child's pose. Good. Come back to downward dog. Step forward with your left foot, halfway in with your right, and just split your fold again. Or if you'd like to go into standing split, push your weight into your left leg, lift the right. Set the feet together. Find your standing extension. Exhale and fold. Bend your knees, lift your gaze, unhinge. Good job, guys. All right. Take a breath. Bring the hands into prayer. Just take a second to get your balance into your right leg. When you're ready, lift your left, cross it up high. See if you can wrap your knee. If not, remember, you can still just squeeze your inner thighs and put your toe on the floor. Good. Left leg is on top, so left arm is on top. Hug, fully wrap, whatever you want to do today, and sink into this. This is eagle pose. Find a big breath. Exhale and open up. And then on your next exhale, we push to warrior three with airplane arms. So this should feel like the opposite of that eagle pose. Everything was closed up. Now everything's open. Set your left foot halfway back. Good. Inhale up here. Exhale, reach that rib cage past your hip. Split your fold. Good. We're going to set the left leg back. Find your warrior two. And now straighten your front leg. Turn on your inhale toward the top of your mat. Dive over, intense side stretch. Again, stop at the shins if you need to. Keep your knee off of your forehead off your knee, your hands off your knee, and roll your shoulders out of your ears. Good. Turn your back foot back into a lunge. Oh, wait, sorry. I almost forgot our triangle. Leave your right hand down and open up. That's better. Now we turn back to downward dog. Find your plank. And chaturanga to up dog. Child's pose. Come back to tabletop. Lift to downward dog. Step forward with your right foot and then halfway in with your left. Split your fold again, or lift that right, or set your weight into your right leg rather, and lift your left leg, standing split, forehead to the shin. And feet together. Inhale, standing extension. Exhale and fold. Good. Bend your knees, lift your gaze, unhinge. Take a breath. Exhale to prayer. Good. Inhale. Forward hinge and fold. Good. Hands to the floor. Step back to downward dog. Good. And we go to plank. Good. Now we're getting ready to lay on our belly. So L, you're going to go to tabletop. Good. So lay all the way down onto the floor. L goes to tabletop. Good. Pull your core in. And now we're on the floor. L is on tabletop. We're going to extend opposite leg and arm. I don't care which one you do first because we're going to do both. So one side leg, the other side arm. Lift and hold. And then let that down. And the other one, opposite arm and leg. Make sure that you're just breathing normally here as you hold. Find an exhale, release, and switch again. And release, switch again. And release one more time each side. Lift. And switch. Good. If you're on the floor, just roll yourself up to tabletop. Take a breath. Let's thread the needle here. So inhale, right side up. Big exhale, spiral on through. Breathing into your back. Release what you just worked. Come back to all fours. Inhale, we're going the other way. Exhale, all the way through. Good. Find tabletop, then part your knees and sit into child's pose. Clasp your hands on the floor in front of your head. Good. Now you're just going to gently roll to the top of your head, and the back of your head's going to rest in your clasped hands. Let your shoulders pull down toward your hips. I'm not really pushing, I'm just letting gravity take me forward. Gently come out of that. Good. Tuck your feet, lift to downward dog. And when you're ready, take your right leg under you for your pigeon. Sitting on the hip to modify if you need to, but we're walking that back leg behind us. Flex your left foot, sit up tall. And again, we're thinking about getting long here. We're not thinking about rounding. Good. Breathe into that hip. Good. Walk that up. And we're just going to switch sides, but first we're going to stop in a long stretch. So swing both legs around to the top of your mat. Bring the hands into prayer. Good. And exhale, sit forward. You can take the feet out a little wider if you need to. Walk that up. And now all you do is take that right leg behind you, bend your left one in, roll up onto your hip, or stay off of the hip, lengthening the leg out behind you regardless. Trying to set the top of your foot on the floor. Big posture here. And when you're ready, let's make that long. Remember, you never have to hinge forward. You might feel more in your hip by not, or that just might mean, just might be what you need today. Good. Walk yourself up. Bring your legs back around to the front. This time, put your feet together. Good. And you can pull your heels in. You can also just walk your hips towards your heels. Let your knees relax down. Let your heart come over your feet. You can pull the shins or the elbows forward of your shins. Good. And if you want a little bit more, you can dive under your hands or under your legs, rather, with your hands, and then find this long spine here. Good. Sit up tall. We're going to slowly lay back. Don't lay on a cat. Good. Now I just want you to grab both toes, lift them to the ceiling. Good. And your knees can be bent here if they need to be. I just want you to feel your tailbone lifting slightly off the floor. Let that go. Good. On an inhale, grab your right knee, pull it into your heart, your chest, push your left heel all the way to the floor. Good. Now, with your left hand, reach across to your right knee. That's the one that's lifted. Take your right hand and shoulder and put them out on the floor. Take a breath and exhale with your left hand. Pull your body to the left. So you're holding on to your right leg. And release. Take a breath. Pull your left knee in and drop your right leg to the floor. Push the heel into the floor. Now we're going to reach across our body, right hand to the left knee. Set your left arm on the floor. Exhale, pull your body over to the right. Roll back to your back. And just let your body fall open. Just begin to find your rest position. Take notice of your breath. And begin to feel your body in contact with the floor and wiggle your fingers and toes. Welcome some long breaths into your lungs once you're seated. And let's inhale. Exhale, come to prayer. Inhale up. Exhale, push the room away. Give me a big shoulder roll right there. One more breath. Hands come back to heart center. An awesome job today, you guys. Namaste. Have a great weekend. Let me know if you have any questions.